Welcome to Moving Forward, sponsored by MPW Mocklink TV and Mocklink Internet, online at mpw.org. Each weekday morning, our local talk segment brings you the people who are helping move our community forward. Let's start the show.
Good morning, AM 860, FM 95.1, KWPC. I'm Jordan Davis. Glad to be here with you this morning once again for Moving Forward, brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water. Say hello to Mocklink Phone, your new local phone company. Fiber customers, get it now. Switching is easy, and you can keep your old number. Learn more at mpw.org. Again, I'm Jordan Davis. I'm joined once again in the studio by Krista Regnitter. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Jordan.
We're excellent. It's excellent, and glad to have you in here once again, as always, to get to speak with you about the Iowa Extension Office. You guys have a lot going on already here in this Christmas season, maybe even some new building plans and stuff like that. I'm going to let you take it away. What's new? What's first on your list?
Well, I think first, before we jump into that, I would just like to talk about our Master Gardeners, because we had our 2018 annual meeting last night. And we have that every December where we kind of celebrate the accomplishments of our local Master Gardeners and their milestones. And so as of December 6th, so Master Gardeners can continue to report their hours online through the end of December. So this is not the final number for 2018. But they had reported over 2,700 hours of volunteer service in Muscatine County.
No kidding.
Yes, as of the beginning of December. And I know some people hadn't got their hours in yet, so I'm pretty confident that number is going to rise before the end of the year. But that's really exciting. I mean, that's what Master Gardeners is all about. It's folks that have an interest in horticulture, but they're really volunteer educators, and they get out there and they help do community beautification, but a lot more education opportunities to educate citizens of Muscatine County about horticulture-related topics. And so we celebrated that last night. We had 2 Master Gardeners, and we've talked before, but it's not easy to become a Master Gardener.
No.
You have to take, you go through 40 hours of training, and then you do 40 hours of volunteer service, which is called an internship. And once you've completed both of those, so the base 80 hours basically, then you become a Master Gardener. And to continue to be a Master Gardener, to be able to kind of wear that badge and use the name Master Gardener, all of our volunteers are expected to do at least 20 hours of volunteer service and 10 hours of continuing education every year after that.
Okay.
So we had two people who they moved from intern to full-fledged Master Gardeners. So Terry Hansen and Rachel Horner Brackett both earned their Master Gardener name tag and title last night. So that was really exciting. And we have about oh gosh, I should have counted before I came in here. We have about 28 or so folks that have met the threshold already of the 20 hours and of volunteer service, 10 hours continuing education. But again, I expect a few more people will move up into that threshold. So I think we'll probably have 30-some when it's all done and said.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and so we celebrated. There's some folks that met, like the 100-hour benchmark, 250.
Wow.
David Cooney, if you know Dave Cooney, he's a part of the Pollinator Project. He got to the 2,000-hour mark this year. And so we go through and celebrate those different milestones and have a nice dinner, a potluck together, and that kind of thing. So there are pictures on our Facebook page if you'd like to see the photos of our different Master Gardeners that met those different milestones.
Excellent. And I wanted to ask you said the pollinator project, does that have to do with bees and helping bee health here?
Yes. Yeah, there's the Muscatine Pollinators Project. You've had Hannah on here. Hannah's a part of that, yes. But Dave Cooney would be a great person with Hannah, and there's a handful of other people, and I don't want to say the wrong names, so I'm going to have you ask those two. Exactly.
That'd be excellent. I'd love to speak with them because that's one thing that you read about a lot nowadays is just how important. I mean, obviously we all grew up, especially if you live in a rural area, you know how important bees are to the health of crops and stuff like that, or just in general plant life.
Well, and there is a Muscatine Pollinator Project Facebook page, and they created the Pollinator Park that's down there by the new dog park. It's kind of between Kentstein Park and the new dog park. And there's a nice trail that goes through there and some signage about pollinators. And they've done some different plantings in different areas to encourage, pollinator the plants and yes, to kind of create the byways and things like that. So they're doing a lot of really exciting things. But there's a new publication about bees that Extension just put out, and I just saw an article that that basically the article was encouraging folks to plant milkweed versus try to grow their own or raise their own monarchs, because I guess that is kind of a up and coming thing. And I would say read the article, but it's important to make sure you know what you're doing. And that kind of thing. So there's lots of information out there for sure. So if people have questions about that, they can call the extension office, or they can, if you put in Iowa State Extension, monarchs or pollinators, that kind of thing, there's all kinds of resources that will come up.
I'd love to talk to them, because I mean that's so interesting. The dynamics of those little, and plus you said some folks are trying to raise their own monarchs. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
just because
it's not necessarily encouraged though. I mean,
right,
that's
because
the thing
they've been in decline, and you wonder if they're in decline because of like. I remember when we were younger, we'd go out and we'd search for milkweed, and we'd find, each one of us would find one caterpillar, and we'd raise it to grow into a butterfly. Well, you wonder how many other folks go out and do that, but maybe don't take care of
and
them
then
the right
exponentially,
way. And,
what does that do? Well, and I think that might be a part of it. I mean, I'm not the scientist and the researcher.
Of course, there's so many more factors.
Yes, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the decline in habitat, for sure. And that's something we've talked about. Master gardeners have continuing education on how do you continue to have a pollinator's habitat, and it's not just milkweed. And even down at the research farm in Fruitland, the Iowa State University research farm, they've done milkweed trials and looked at different variations of milkweed and how it grows and how how attractive it is, and and so there's the monarchs, there's bees, there's all kinds of things that factor into that. But I'll mention something to Dave, too, but definitely I think it'd be great to have the Pollinators Project. They just did a winter planting, if you look up their Facebook page, too, because some of those plants, they're actually better to be planted in the winter.
Really?
Seeded, yeah.
That's very interesting.
So, yeah, it's a neat project. And so, and Dave's a master gardener, and again, because of that Pollinator Project, like I said, he has over 2,000 hours of service as a master gardener. So that's pretty impressive, yes. And we have a couple lifetime master gardeners, and to get to that, I have to look it up to make sure I don't say it wrong. So that means that they have 10 years of service and 1,500 hours. So Bill Kolner and Charles Rickey and Dave Cooney all have met that threshold. And Bill is very active with the Muscatine County Fairgrounds and does a lot of work on the fairgrounds with planting trees and things like that. And Charles Rickey is really the spearhead behind the Muscatine Arboretum. So they're all three very, very active volunteers in our community and have contributed a lot to our community. So we're proud of our Muscatine County Master Gardeners.
Absolutely. What a cool program.
Yeah. So that's one thing that we have going on. Just because it's winter, and next week winter break starts. So for all those parents out there, I know we are not going to have any camps over winter break, but we do have a couple of camps coming up for no school days. So January 21st, that Monday, is a no school day. And if you have a child in 1st through 3rd grade, we're going to be doing pint-sized science, and that will be a 12:30 to 5 o'clock class. And we've just found that that's a more popular time slot than the all-day. So that one, it's only $10 per camper to register your child for that, and they'll get to do like things with chemical reactions, colorful chemistry. Again, we always use our research-based curriculum that's about hands-on learning and learning by doing. So pint-sized science, January 21st for 1st through 3rd graders, and then the February 18th, no school day, we're going to do CSI Who Did It, and that is for 4th through 6th graders, and it's like a crime scene investigation where they have a crime scene laid out and they have clues that they have to analyze and kind of work together to figure out who they think perpetrated the crime.
That's exciting.
So that one's for 4th through 6th graders. That's always a fun camp because there's like an outline of a body with crime tape around it in our large meeting room.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that one again is February 18th. So if and it's also 12:30 to 5 o'clock, also $10 for the fee. So if you're looking for just something for your child to do where you can drop them off over lunch hour and pick them up after work, both of those camps are a great opportunity.
Excellent.
We also have a Lunch and Learn coming up on January 17th. That's a Thursday, noon to 1. Dana Yerington in our office is a trained facilitator of the Connections Matter training. It's not a curriculum, but it's a training. And basically what that is about is is it talks a little bit about adverse childhood experiences and how that impacts children as they're developing and growing, but how relationships and connections can be the antidote to that. And really talks about the brain science behind connections and, how that helps build resiliency in kids. So that's free. You can bring your lunch. It's January 17th, noon to 1. You can call our office to RSVP 263-5701. But it's a really good a training. It's a set, something she went and got trained in, and the curriculum is kind of there. And so it's a really good opportunity to learn a little bit more about, first of all, the effects of adverse experiences to kids in their development, but then also how those connections can be that important antidote.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is pretty crucial. That's pretty important for them. It's
amazing how it really, that a couple of strong connections can really counteract, a lot of traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
And we can't protect all children from having traumatic experiences, but we can definitely make connections with all kids and help them build the resiliency to deal with those
Absolutely.
things. And we could talk lots about adverse childhood experience, but that is a study that's over 10 years old and has had over 100,000 study participants. And what it's found is that the more adverse experiences that somebody experiences in their childhood, the more likely they are to have negative health outcomes as adults. Things like heart disease, diabetes, things that we don't always connect to experiences, but it actually changes your body chemistry as you're growing up, and that can affect later. And so anything that we can do to build resiliency in young people so those effects don't take hold of them the same way, because those health outcomes, just talking about it from an economic perspective, is, that's why people miss work, and that's why, and obviously this is not 100% across the board. There's all kinds of reasons for those things to happen. But we do know that there is a correlation between adverse childhood experiences and negative health outcomes. So the more that we can mitigate that, the healthier we can help our future generations be.
Yeah, and it's just like adults with stress. They say stress, like just high levels of stress can affect you so much, give you heart problems, make you more prone to being sleep deprived, all sorts of stuff.
And same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just at a younger age. So, that should all be taken into account, especially when you're just trying to help kids work through like little or any bad experiences that they have. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's excellent.
So that's again January 17th, noon to 1.
Free,
and open
making
to the public.
Connections?
It's Connections Matter.
Connections Matter.
Yep. And this is on our website. If you wanted more information, you can call the extension office at 263-5701. You can look up Muscatine Extension on Facebook and find us there too. So, and again, we talked about if you want to sign up for our monthly newsletter, our e-newsletter, just send me a quick email or call the extension office with your email address. But my email is Krista R, it's a K, Kristar, at iastate.edu. And I can add you to that mailing list, and we always send that out once a month with our upcoming events and things like that.
Excellent. Now, so what else is going on now? Is it...
Yes.
Go for it.
All right. So this is our exciting news. Dun, dun, dun. So the Extension Office has bought a building, and we're going to be moving in 2019. So we're really excited about this new project. Our current location is a leased location, and our end of this term is coming up in the end of September of 2019, and we know there will be some significant changes to our rental rate, and then we're also entering into our last term of the lease. And so once that's up, we really have no security of what could happen next, right? And so that we've been in our current location for 19 years, so we've been there for quite a while, and it made us start looking at different alternatives. And really, this has been a 2-year process, so we've been looking at this for quite some time about, okay, well, what does this mean? What's the best thing to do for the Muscatine County Extension Office as a county government subunit? And what we've settled on is ownership has become the best solution, because it really gives us the financial stability where we're not investing into a rental property that we don't know what will happen in the future. that we're going to invest into a property that we know is ours and we'll be able to continue with. So we bought a property. It's between the mall and MCC on Plaza Place Drive, and we have some remodeling to do over there because it's currently set up to be 6 units, and so we'll need to get in there and consolidate it all into the heating services, the electrical, the plumbing, and move walls and all of that good stuff.
Right.
We're really excited about the location. It will open up a lot of outdoor educational opportunities that we don't have in our current location. With Weed Park is walkable from there, Colorado School, the Bridgestone Van Dyke Wildlife Area, the parks, or the city trail system. So we'll be really connected to outdoor space. We already partner a lot with MCC, but we feel like this will just strengthen that partnership being so close to them. We're hoping to be able to partner with Colorado as it transitions into an early childhood center. So really excited about those opportunities. We are happy about the location since we are a county-wide agency, and we want to make sure that we're easily accessible. So the north end of town, we feel like is a great place, for the folks in the county to find us and reach us.
Yeah, no joke. Right off
of Park Avenue.
Yeah, rather than, down there in ISIT, sometimes I got lost so many times trying to find my way through there. When I first moved here, it was crazy. I'd go over here. I don't even remember the name of the road. I'd turn off Mulberry to go down that way, and I'd get down to that little intersection where you can go if you're on this side, but you can't go if you're on this side. And,
Leroy to Bidwell, and then
I'm
to
just.
Isaac. I know. Muscatine, I always tell people that move to Muscatine, it's like a hub and spoke. So you got to think about the hub being the Mississippi, and then, you have Park Avenue as one of the spokes. You have Isaac, you have these different, but it's we are definitely not on a grid. No. We are a river town, full on.
No kidding.
Yeah, so we're excited about the location of the new building. So we are currently in the fundraising stage of that. We have sent out letters to different partners that work with Extension and work with us in 4-H and work in our ag programming and our human science programming. But I will say if anybody is interested in supporting this project, please give me a call at the Extension office, again, 263-5701. I'm happy to share more information about our project with you. We're really excited. One of the other things that I think is important is, currently we have a large meeting room that has a separate entrance, so it's accessible after business hours, and different community organizations, if they are a nonprofit community group, they can use that room for free. They check out a key and they use that room. In 2017, so I don't have our data yet for 2018 because it's not over, but in 2017, we had over 44 organizations outside of Extension programming that use that room on a regular basis.
Okay.
So there's lots and lots of groups, and we will continue to have that space. We'll have a similar size room in our new building with the separate entrance. And we really feel like that's an important asset to the community. And since it's a larger room, I know a lot of people have said, but the library. And the library is great. It has a lot of smaller meeting rooms, and it has the one larger meeting room. But because there's really only one room that is comparable in size, we feel like there's still definitely a need. We have a lot of groups that come and talk to us, that have 30, 40 people, and they need that kind of space.
And like you said, those rooms at the library are awesome. I mean, I went down there. I took photos for them for a few weeks, and I mean, they've got some great spaces. But you're right, there is just that one big meeting room, and there's kind of the two. There's the one upstairs, and then there's the boardroom meeting.
And even the boardroom, though, that's like 20-ish, so
20,
if you're looking for that 30, 40 range.
For kind of almost a crowd,
Exactly, and so different groups. I mean, we have garden clubs, we have union groups. I mean, it's just crazy.
It'd be a great place for like presentations and stuff like that. Yeah,
exactly.
Excellent.
So we'll continue to have that, and we're excited about that. And we really feel like this location will let us not only continue but expand the programming that we do for Muscatine County, and again give us that financial stability that eventually we'll be able to invest more of our income into programming, once we get the building paid off. And so we're asking for support to help us with the remodeling portion of it. And anybody that would like to talk to me about that, please give me a call at the Extension office, 263-5701, and I'd be happy to talk to you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Krista.
Thanks for having me. I always enjoy coming in and talking about what's going on.
Yeah, and you guys always have fun stuff going on, especially for the kids. That's awesome, all the programs that you guys do. So thank you so much again to Krista joining us from the Muscatine Extension Office, talking a little bit about their programs and also their new building that's going to be coming our way here before too long. So when can we kind of expect to see a culmination on that? Late September?
Yes, so we will be moving September of 2019.
Okay.
So, and even if we could move earlier with county fair and state fair, I'm not going to touch July or August because I think I would have a revolt on my hands.
Gotcha.
And so we will be moving in September 2019.
Excellent. All right, well, that's exciting. Thanks again for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you on as always.
Thank you.
All right, once again, this has been Moving Forward, brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water. Mocklink is always Muscatine's fastest internet, and gigabit speed is coming. I can't tell you how excited I am for that. Mocklink TV beats satellite and includes video and music streaming. New subscribers save big, even more when you bundle. Learn more at mpw.org. I'm Jordan Davis. This has been Moving Forward here on the voice of Muscatine.com. See you tomorrow.
We'd like to